Welcome back to another episode of Rooted and Rising. I'm your host, Chioma. Today, I'm sitting down with someone who's not just a guest, but also a dear friend, a little sister, I want to say, and a former colleague, actually. Hi, Leslie.
Hey.
So Leslie and I have shared plenty of work and life escapades and plenty of laughs over the years. And so I'm just excited for you all to get to know her the way I do. So, do you want to introduce yourself in your own words?
Yeah, sure. I'm Leslie Beatley, as Chilma lovely put it. I am her bestie, her ex-colleague, my little sister. But no, I mean, you're a great friend, family. I think we're family
I
status.
think we're family, yeah. I think we're
Yeah,
family.
we're family status. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of two.
She's a
And
mamacita. Okay.
yes, get that reference. Mommy.
She's a mommy. See, this is look, I'm not Gen Z, I'm a millennial, but I do know some Gen Z references, okay?
Come on. I'm a millennial too, like barely, but I'm still there. But I can
Okay.
be Gen Z when I want.
Yes, you can. You can. But welcome to the show. So, like you said, your mom, you're a wife, and can you just maybe tell us a little bit about your upbringing and just kind of your values or traditions that have shaped who you are?
Yeah, of course. So I am the oldest of two.
Okay.
I come from a single parent home.
Okay.
In terms of my upbringing, and honestly, I'll talk a little bit about before I became a mom. I'll be honest with you. I was lost. I don't know who I was before becoming a mom. I poured myself into work and kept putting things off. Growing up, I didn't have much stability. So throughout part of me thought motherhood wasn't for me. I really believed I'd never have kids. I thought I was going to be that rich auntie. I am not. But life has a funny way of surprising you, and here I am, and the person I am today, I couldn't have ever imagined
Yeah.
who I am.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And I think just for background, where are you from in terms of just like your cultural background?
Yeah, so born in Virginia, raised in Maryland, yes, although we don't claim the D in the DMV.
Oh, right now? Is that like a
Or
current
or V, or
situation?
V
Oh,
actually, on top always.
cool.
It's a DMV thing. But I was, born and raised in the area. I'm half Salvadoran, half Honduran.
Okay.
Although, when you put it all together, it's just a mix of different cultures. But yeah, I don't know. What else do you want to know?
Okay, so Honduran, Salvadoran, and then you're from the DMV area. So you talked about how you didn't imagine, like you never imagined that you would become a mom because of the kind of, I guess like your childhood. And I guess that being said, that means you never even really thought about the kind of parent that you would be. So I guess what kind of parenting did you experience as a kid?
Oh, the military type, the very strict type. My mom was very strict and, all for all the right reasons. I don't blame her now looking back and being a parent myself. But I honestly always thought that although I wouldn't have kids, if I did, I'd be the strict parent, which I'm not. A pushover parent, like whatever you need, baby, yes, you'll get.
Oh, Lord.
Obviously, there's some parenting in there, but yeah, no, I'm definitely not the strict parent. But
Okay.
was very strict. So the complete opposite.
Okay, so opposite. Do you think that your cultural background has now influenced the way that you currently parent?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because in my cultural background, like especially in Latino, Hispanic backgrounds, like you have a pretty strict upbringing. And this is all generational. Like, no sleepovers.
Oh
We
yeah.
spoke only Spanish at home. Just the mannerisms and the way we spoke to our elders it's so different than.
That's familiar. So, did becoming a mom change your relationship with your own identity in any way? Because you talked about how you were lost, and then becoming a mom, you feel like you've kind of found yourself in that sense. So, can you talk about how that changed?
Yeah, I found my purpose. Honestly, my son, Elijah, he's 6 now and he's always teaching me things. So
Hmm.
like sometimes the kind of lessons you don't expect. One day he looked at me very seriously and was like, "Mom, you cannot sing, like, but it's okay. I still love you." So
They're
moments
honest.
like those reminded me that kids see us fully, like flaws and all. I always try to be perfect. And
Mhm.
he loves me anyway because he's always, constantly telling me how much he loves me, which is such a great feeling and such a great thing
Mhm.
to hear. He's always teaching me not to take myself too seriously because I tend to do that. Um, and just to show up as I am. So I think that that's my biggest.
Like your takeaway from motherhood.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have one son, you said he is 6? Yes, so he's 6, and then you also have a daughter who just turned 1.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about her because I think that that journey has been an interesting one for you. So just,
Yeah.
I guess, tell us a little bit about your daughter.
Yes. So Alara. So
Mhm.
when Alara was born and we got the cystic fibrosis diagnosis shortly after, honestly, it felt like the world came crashing down. I went through all the stages of grief, mourning the life I thought she would have and thought that I would have with like postpartum and like her being my second kid. I was like, I got this, but no, I don't got this. We're still winging it.
Mhm.
But even at just a year old, she's taught me so much about strength, about advocacy, incredible relationship with her care team. And I've turned my pain into purpose. So like you'll see me writing blog posts for the CF Foundation, sharing our journey on social media. I'm back on social media, y'all. For like 10 years of my life. I told everybody I'm back on IG and I got the same response throughout. Like, you better delete it, right?
Yeah, like, are you gonna
Like,
delete it
you're gonna
tomorrow?
delete it.
Because I'm not gonna follow you. Like, don't bother.
But I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. Just
So
connecting with other families.
Mhm.
She's very tiny. My baby girl is tiny, but she's already one of my greatest teachers, honestly. And when I say she's taught me a lot about myself, a lot of patience, and honestly, my faith.
Mm, okay. So let's talk a little bit about maybe like from the beginning or like when you first got that diagnosis. How did her diagnosis impact your family dynamic in the sense that you already had a kid, your husband obviously, like what did that diagnosis kind of do for you all?
Yeah, so my husband and I, Emilio, like
Mhm.
it feels so weird saying my husband and I,
Your
like
husband.
um, no, like when Emilio and I got that diagnosis, honestly, he was my biggest support system. Like he's the
Mm,
type of person to see things as is, where I felt so much guilt and I was like, oh my God, but why? But why? Even if I didn't have the answers. Uh,
mhm.
but he was like, it happens. This is what was destined. Like
Yeah.
deal with it as things come. But it didn't change much. I feel like it brought us closer as a family because, we were like, okay, we got this, we can do this. And then, everyone, family, friends, my village,
Yeah.
everybody came through. So in terms of dynamics changing, there was nothing there but brought us closer.
So was she diagnosed in utero like while you were pregnant or was it after you
No,
delivered?
no, no, no. So she was diagnosed like maybe a month after,
Okay, okay.
like the newborn screening and all those like tests
Oh,
you
I
do
see, I see.
at the very beginning. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
honestly, it was a big shock to us.
So what I guess because you've talked about, cystic fibrosis honestly is not a disease that a lot of people know about, to be frank. And what's something that you wish more people understood about the disease, especially in communities of color?
Well, yeah, I actually wrote a blog post about this specifically for the Latino Hispanic community
Yeah.
because we're seeing an uptick in, people that are being diagnosed with CF
Hmm.
coming from Latino and Hispanic backgrounds. But what I would say is that it's a genetic disease and a lot of folks like I know personally speaking my experience they were like oh my god you did something wrong during
Hmm.
your pregnancy like it's your fault like I didn't
Yeah,
know we didn't know we don't ever wish these things or want these things for our children
exactly.
but it's a genetic disease that unfortunately affects anyone it can affect
Hmm.
anyone uh,
Hmm.
so I would say that just it's not our fault.
Yeah, so don't put the blame on
Right.
yourself or
Yeah.
your family, yeah. Okay. And how have you learned to advocate for Alara in medical spaces? I think that's something that is really important. Even like us as adults, sometimes we struggle to advocate for ourselves in medical space. So how do you do that for her?
Yeah, so I know her care team is sick of me.
Yeah. Are you
Uh,
like, "What's going on, guys?"
and I say yes, and over communication.
Yeah.
I know that some folks might be like, "Oh, man, it's Miss Beatley again, Mrs. Beatley again."
Here she go. Here she
Like,
come. Here
here
she
she
go
go
again.
again. But it's a
That's
journey.
your kid.
Like,
Yeah.
we're all learning, and I
Yeah.
mean, we're care team equally, like, they're learning as well, like, they're learning Alara, like, who she is. Honestly, I haven't had any issues with
Mhm.
communication or advocating for Alara in her primary care team space, but in
Mhm.
other spaces, I'm like, "This is what's going on," and they're like, "Oh, no, no, that's normal." I'm like, "No, it's not." Honestly, your mom gut is,
Yeah.
like, top tier, like, nobody can go against that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. And do you feel like this personal journey that you're on, right, with your daughter, your family, that's kind of evolved into a sense of advocacy for you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, have there been like specific moments that have pushed you to speak out or support other people that may be going through similar challenges? Like, have you met other people in any like support groups and things like that that you felt the need to kind of support in this journey?
I have 2 individuals. I also wrote about them in a blog post, and I always shout them out and give them credit. They honestly, brought me out this, like, really dark space again, like I told you in the beginning, I was going through all the stages of grief, like, "Why
Mhm.
us? Why my baby girl? Like, what is our life gonna be?" I still don't know, but, we're taking
Yeah.
it day by day. She's doing great. I'm learning every day, but I credit these 2 individuals because they not only did they give me community and that safe space, but also made me want to give back to this community. I think it's so important when you have community, when you have somebody that understands you. They are the reason I'm also giving back aside from, obviously I want to be that advocate and that point person for Laura as well. I want her mom, I want her to see that her mom's involved, that she cares.
Right. Right. And I saw you participated in like the cystic fibrosis walk and some other things. That was really cool. So I'm really proud of you for really just creating this, getting this like sense of advocacy for her. And I wonder, how did you all explain her diagnosis to your son?
Mm. We actually haven't
Hmm.
because he understands some
Mhm.
parts of it. And when I say that is, like especially around the germs piece or not getting
Mhm.
sick, but as you would with any baby,
Yeah.
I don't think he fully understands the severity and really understands, what comes with having SIA.
Mm.
But as he gets older, we actually do plan to introduce,
Mhm.
what a day-to-day, I don't know, clinic visit looks like for Alara. But actually, I mean, he sees things and sometimes he'll ask questions. Like Alara has to do chest PT with a chest vest on.
What's PT? Oh, physical therapy. Okay.
Physical therapy, yeah.
Okay.
And this vest helps her, like, break down mucus in her lungs,
Okay.
loosen mucus in her lungs. So we do that on a daily basis. And like, he's like, "Oh, she has like the boom boom vest." Like he'll make it so he'll normalize it. Like
Right.
doesn't see her as different, and I love that. And I want to protect him from that as much as I can. But obviously,
Yeah.
we know that
Okay.
eventually to explain it.
Okay, so since you haven't really shared with him and, he is still
Yeah.
quite young, so that's okay. Considering the fact that she has get a significant amount of attention from you and your husband, are you all thinking about how you create space for your son to still feel equally, like, supported while you guys are still managing the challenges of taking care of Alara?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, we take turns taking him out on dates. Like we'll go on movie
Okay.
dates. We'll still dedicate like
Aw.
one time. He definitely takes a run for our money. I'm broke for this child. Anything he wants, he gets. As bad as that sounds,
Lord.
I was not raised that way. But I mean, they're only young once, and I feel like
That's
the
true.
memories are so important. But honestly, I've come to realize that being a parent is forever, even when they're older. I mean, I
Yeah,
still go to my
that's true.
mom's and be like, "Hey, like, can you help a girl out?" And and vice versa. But we still dedicate time
For him.
to him and
Yeah.
take him out, or it could be like as simple as routine, like we'll sit in his room and we'll read a book or something, or like we'll openly say, "Alara, wait, your brother needs something," so he could hear
That's a
that,
good one, yeah.
yeah, it's his brother's turn.
Yeah. Okay, look at you and Emilio. I love that. Okay.
We out here winging it, but we're doing it.
Okay, awesome. So I guess you're doing all this advocacy for your daughter and obviously being a mother and a wife. How are you taking care of you?
Ooh,
through all of this?
to be honest with you, I'm not, but, I'm not. I don't have time, but,
Getting your nails done maybe, because that was your thing?
girl, I have not.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
But as a form of
I'm scared to
self-care,
show mine because mine don't look good either, so I get it.
not gonna show. Uh, as a form of self-care, it could be like makeup, doing my makeup. Like today, I did my makeup, had time. Like nobody was out there asking like for my help. Nobody was screaming out, "Mommy," or crying. None of that. Or getting my nails done. I still do get my nails done. I just haven't gone. And Amelia and I, we're trying to prioritize date night.
Yes, it's so important. And one of the things I remember when we used to work together, like you guys, Leslie, if we had a meeting, Leslie had to beat her face. And for those of you that don't know what beating your face is, basically,
Literally.
basically not literally beating your face, guys. We don't advocate for violence here. It's more about
Mhm.
getting a full face of makeup, making sure that you look amazing. So
Good. Like
yeah, Leslie was very good at that. I think you still are, not was. But that was something that was like her signature thing. So please continue to do that. And obviously just take care of yourself. I know you have a lot of hats that you're wearing and we'll get into that, but obviously make room for you too if you can, when you can.
good reminder. Thank you.
Yeah. And outside of motherhood, what are some dreams or ambitions that continue to drive you?
I want to be a lawyer. And I'm going to
Mm.
pursue law school.
Yes, that was
I'll
what you
let
said
y'all
to
know.
me. Yes.
Graduate law school.
And it's
That's
gonna
been
happen.
a it's been a lifelong dream of mine, and
Hmm.
you know what? I'm gonna get it done because
Why do you want to be a lawyer?
I wanted to be a lawyer because of my upbringing, my childhood. It wasn't pretty. That's why we're not gonna get into it as
Yes,
much.
sir.
But as a survivor of sexual abuse, the lawyers that helped us with our case, they were so good. Honestly, they
Yeah.
inspired me. And SVU too, like growing up watching that, I was
Must
like,
be.
I want to be in the legal system. Like I want to help people.
I love that. That's such a
Honestly.
like a noble like a reason. Obviously, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but I think that that is a like you using your survivor story as kind of a impetus or motivation to pursue this is amazing. So yeah,
And also because I love to argue.
yeah,
What
true.
better way to do that?
And look good while you're doing it. Okay, period.
Mhm.
And like you wanting to be a lawyer, how did becoming a mother kind of shift the way you have thought about your career, your passions, your goals?
I kept putting it off. But I want my kids to look back and, see that life didn't stop when I had them. Or
Mhm.
despite all the challenges and obstacles that come, that I pursued and fulfilled my dream. So I
Yeah.
think that's my biggest drive right now, and that's why I'm gonna get it done.
Yes, you will. And that will also motivate them, right? Like they'll
Hmm.
also see that their mom is doing all these amazing things. And do you feel that there are other new ambitions that have emerged because of motherhood?
Yes. So advocacy.
Okay.
I never envisioned myself, writing all these things and getting involved with organizations. Like I never truly found my purpose. Becoming a mom, especially like with Alara, becoming more involved within that community has definitely motivated me to go out of my comfort zone. Like even this interview, out of my comfort zone.
It's not even that bad.
Not.
It's just me. And I mean, I guess so going out of your comfort zone, obviously very important for growth. But when you look ahead beyond kind of your day-to-day parenting life, what do you see for yourself? You talked about becoming a lawyer, but what else do you see for? Oh my God. Catch that?
Traveling. I mean, just living life, honestly. Like we're so caught up with the day to day and like the stresses of life. Like just live life as best as you
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what's important, right? And is that the legacy that you want to leave, not just as a mom, but as Leslie, right?
Yes, yes, for sure.
Okay, okay. And do you think when you like kind of think about yourself, what does it mean to you to be seen and heard as Leslie? Like, what does that look like?
I haven't really thought about that, but just recently, like I went out with my best friend and we were just blasting music and I remember after, we stopped hanging out, like, after we were done hanging out, I texted her and I was like, "Thank you for making me feel like me." Because everything that I do
Aw,
now, I feel like is tied to motherhood or tied to being
yeah.
I literally thanked her for making me feel like Leslie, like just Leslie.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And I don't know, it served as a reminder, like, I could be me. I could be just Leslie, like,
Yeah.
titles aside or like anything associated with my day to day. So just it was the little things, but yeah, that just reminded me like a few weeks ago that happened, and we were just blasting music, being all loud and rowdy, and just talking about life and catching up because I hadn't seen her in a while.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then after we were done, I was like, "Thank you for making me feel like me.
I
Thanks."
love that. I love that. And when you just going back a little bit to the advocacy pieces, when you want to advise other mothers, especially those raising children with health conditions, what advice would you give them about just staying whole and hopeful?
Well, I'm one to never take my own advice. What I would
Okay.
say is, I mean, aren't we guilty of that? We
Yeah,
all
that's true. That's true. We
like
can
we
give it, but
we
we
give
can't
great
actually.
advice, but we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
take
yeah,
it
we
for
can't actually
ourselves.
practice it. Yeah.
But what I would advise them is like, take care of you so you can best take care of your kids.
Mm, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Because if you're feeling good physically, emotionally, mentally, I mean, you're whole for your kids rather
Hmm.
than running on fumes.
She's like, note to self.
Right.
And that's a good point because I think for all of us, having different kinds of lives, maybe you're not a mom, but you might just have different things that you're dealing with. I think we tend to get caught up in just the everyday struggles. And, it's important to also practice gratitude and practice self-care. So you talked about having a good time with your bestie recently. What else is giving you joy these days? Like, what else are you hoping for in this phase of the new Leslie? You just said you got a promotion at work. We didn't really talk about work on the episode, but what else is giving you joy?
Just my health. We take the little things for granted, like the basic things for granted. My health, the fact that I'm healthy and can do whatever I want and fulfill my duties, as a colleague, as a friend, as a sister, as a wife, as a mother, as a cousin, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good. And you talked a little bit about legacy, but what do you want your children to know most about the woman that you are?
Yeah, so I mean, one day, like when Elijah and Alara are older, I hope they don't just remember like the hard parts that we went through. I hope
Mm-hmm.
they remember the laughter, the goofiness. I'm very goofy when it comes to my kids. I mean, you know that side of me. It's like, Leslie, you need to relax. The dancing, the loud music, just the weirdness, and that their mom was their best friend. Like more than anything, I want them to know how deeply I love
Mm-hmm.
them, that I never stop fighting for them, because that's why the advocacy piece comes in.
Yeah. And do you think that's because, to a degree, do you think that's because do you remember those things about your childhood or do you remember the opposite and you're trying to
I
create
remember that.
better memories for them? Okay. I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. That's important. That's important. And I guess, final question. If your life had a theme song right now, what would
Oh,
it
I'm
be
ready.
and why?
I'm ready.
If your life had a theme song, what would it be and why?
Yeah, so my theme song for this season of life is La Vida es un Carnaval by Celia Cruz.
Of course, it's going to be a song that I cannot pronounce.
It reminds me like that even when life feels heavy, like with parenting, with Alara's health journey, with just the ups and downs of life, there's always a reason to find joy and
Yeah.
choosing to celebrate, to dance, to laugh, even in the middle of hard times.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, there's also another theme song in rotation. It's Bad Bunny.
Okay.
It's Nueva York, like New York, but in
No,
Spanish.
you're just gonna have to send me the names of these things in WhatsApp. I
That's
could,
the one I blast in the car when I just need to let loose, be lively, feel myself.
okay.
Remember that even moms get to have a little swag.
I honestly was waiting for you to say like Aya Star Hot Body or something. Because I know that's your girls.
She is my girl. You put me on. You put me on. I love her music.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, Leslie, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you joining today. I mean, I don't know. We've been friends for a couple of years, right? I want to say 5 years. Is it 5 years?
No,
But
girl,
it's
6
longer.
years. Oh
Longer.
my
Oh,
God.
wow, six
Like
years.
you met me when I was like super pregnant of Elijah.
Yes, I remember I remember you being super pregnant with Elijah and just looking very angry. And I was like, wow, I don't,
I mean, when you're like 9 months pregnant, like wouldn't you be
I was like, oh,
like,
poor
I'm
thing.
ready to pop this kid.
But no,
Oh,
you've always been just a wonderful friend. even when I would be like, "Come help me put together this desk," because I hate doing any kind of building.
And yeah, like Bob the Builder and whatnot.
And you'd be like, "Okay, cool, I'm coming." And I would just have to bribe you with jollof rice.
Well, I was just about to say jollof rice. I like miss you being close by.
I
And
know,
our
but
juicy
no.
seafood dates. No, we're not sponsored here, but we love that place.
Yeah, no sponsorships from Just Stupid. But I appreciate the friendship. I appreciate the energy, the good energy that you always bring because, the recent news I sent to you, you were like so excited.
Oh
So
yes. I literally ran across this house and I was like, we gotta go to
so yeah, I'm just really glad to call you a friend, a sister. And I do pray that this journey that you're on right now with your daughter, with your family, is one that is ultimately a happy one. I hope that her health continues to improve. And, despite her diagnosis, she's going to be an amazing woman. And it'll be because she has you as a mother.
my
Um,
eyes rain. Don't do that.
so thanks for being on the show. And any last words, anything you want to share with the audience before we close out?
I think I'm good. We don't overshare here.
All right, great. Well, thanks for being on the show, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye, guys.